So there are many methods in multiplying multi-step numbers. Some of them are the long method, the lattice method, and the distributive property of multiplication over addition. To divide large numbers, we follow the steps: divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and repeat over remainder. To solve an equation involving order of operations, remember the mnemonics GEMDAS, which stands for grouping symbols, exponents, multiplication over division, and addition or subtraction. Exponential notation is the shortest way of writing repeated multiplication. The base is the number that is being multiplied repeatedly. So exponent tells us to multiply the number by itself a certain number of times. And then when we say a prime numbers, a whole number greater than 1 which has only two factors, 1 and the number itself. A composite number is a whole number with 3 or more factors. And when we say prime factorization is the process of expressing a composite number as a product of its prime factors. And every number is divisible by 1. A number is divisible by 2 if it is even. A number that is divisible by 3 if the sum of its digit is a multiple of 3. A number is divisible by 4 if it is the last two digits are divisible by 4. A number is divisible by 5 if it is last digit either 0 or 5. A number is divisible by 6 if the number divisible both 2 and 3. A number is divisible by 7 if it is difference between twice the unit's digit and the remaining digit is divisible by 7. A number is divisible by 8 if the last three digits are divisible by 8. A number is divisible by 9 if the sum of its digits is divisible by 9. And a number is divisible by 10 if the unit's digit is 0. When we say factors are numbers being multiplied to get the product, greatest common factor or GCF is the biggest number that can exactly divide the given numbers. The methods of finding the GCF of two or more numbers are listing the prime factorization, continuous division, and Euclidean algorithm. Multiples are products of a given number and the natural or the counting numbers. Least common multiple or the LCM is the last number that can be exactly be divided by the given numbers. The three methods of finding the LCM of two or more numbers are listing, prime factorization, and continuous division. And when we say a mixed number or a mixed fraction is composed of a whole number and a fraction, while an improper fraction has a numerator which is greater than or equal to the denominator. To change a mixed number to an improper fraction, multiply the whole number by the denominator, then add the numerator. The answer will become the new numerator. And finally, copy the same denominator. And to change an improper fraction to a mixed number, divide the numerator by the denominator. The quotient will be the whole number, while the remainder will become the numerator. Lastly, copy the same denominator. And to express a fraction in its lowest term or in its simplest form, we divide both the numerator and the denominator by their greatest common factor. And to add the similar fractions, first is change first to similar fraction, then add. To add mixed number, first is going to do is add the whole number parts. Second, change the fractional parts to like fraction. The third is add the fractional parts. And fourth, write the answer in the simplest form. And then to subtract the similar fraction, change them to similar fraction. Then subtract the numerators and copy the common denominator. To subtract mixed numbers, first is subtract the whole numbers parts, then second is change the fractional parts to like fractions. The third one is subtract the fractional parts, and fourth, write the answer in the simplest form. And into multiply fraction, we follow these rules. The first rule is multiply a fraction by a fraction. Multiply the numerators as well as the denominator and express the answer in the simplest form. The second is in multiplying a fraction by a whole number, express the whole number as a fraction with a denominator of 1. Then multiply the numerators and the denominators and express the answer in simplest form. The third one, in multiplying mixed numbers, express the mixed numbers as improper fractions. Then multiply the numerators and the denominators and express the answer in the simplest form. And to divide fractions, we follow these steps. The first step is get the reciprocal of the divisor, then change the division sign to multiplication sign and multiply the numerators. The fourth one is multiply the denominators. The fifth one is express the answer in the simplified form if needed.